Welcome. I'm Jenny Sullivan, the Director of Education Abroad and International Fellowships here at RIT. In this info session, I'm going to tell you all about the Gilman Study Abroad Scholarship. I'll answer your questions about eligibility, deadlines and timelines, and I'll give you some tips for the application. The Gilman is a national scholarship, which means RIT students will be competing with students from all over the United States for these scholarship dollars. But on average, 1 of 3 RIT applicants wins a Gilman scholarship. A majority of RIT awardees are indeed traditionally underrepresented in study abroad. The Gilman awards scholarships of up to $5,000 for study abroad programs that take place in the fall, spring, summer, winter, or academic year. In addition to your regular Gilman, if you are studying one of these critical languages as a part of your study abroad program, you could be eligible for an additional $3,000. To apply for the critical need part of the Gilman, you must complete an additional essay as a part of your application. So now we're going to talk about eligibility. How do you qualify to apply for the Gilman Scholarship? In order to be eligible for the Gilman, you must be a U.S. citizen. You also must be an undergraduate student. You must be receiving a federal Pell Grant, and you can check this on your financial aid package. You must be participating in a credit-bearing program, and this includes required co-ops at RIT. You must be traveling to a country or region with a U.S. State Department travel warning level of just 1 or 2. And there is no minimum length requirement for your program. You can go and receive a Gilman for a program as little as a week to as long as a full academic year. Gilman has an additional special award called the Gilman-McCain Scholarship, and it is for the child or spouse dependents of active duty service members. And this is also $5,000. And in order to be eligible for the Gilman-McCain Scholarship, in addition to all the previously mentioned eligibility requirements, you must be a recipient of any type of Title IV federal financial aid, and you must be the dependent of an active or activated United States military personnel during the time of application. Now I will walk you through the basic application components. In order to apply for the Gilman, students must create a login and password in the Gilman portal on their website. Through this portal, you will submit some information about the study abroad program of your choice, a few essays, copies of your unofficial transcripts, and you will be asked to select your study abroad advisor and your financial aid advisor. Your financial aid advisor is listed by college on RIT's website, and I am your study abroad advisor, Jenny Sullivan. After you submit your application, the second step includes a certification. I must certify your Gilman application and attest that all of the study abroad program information you have entered is correct, and your financial aid advisor must certify the application and attest that all the financial information, including your Pell Grant, is accurate. The first essay in the application is called your Statement of Purpose. It is a maximum of 7,000 characters, which equals about a page and a half. Think of this as if it is an interview on paper. This is the only opportunity for the reviewers to get to know you as a person. In this essay, you will outline the study abroad program you have chosen and why. How does that program help you meet your academic, professional, and personal goals? You might also talk about any challenges that you have faced and how you've overcome them. In this essay, it's extremely important to show your thoughtfulness and intention between your choice of study abroad program and your goals. How is this program a good fit? And provide very specific information. What courses are you taking and how do they match your academic goals here at RIT? How long is the program and why is that the best choice for you? What will your living arrangements be and how will those help you meet your goals? For example, you might say, as a future doctor, I want to learn other languages so I can communicate better with my patients and provide better care. So I will be living with a host family to ensure that I become fluent in the local language. You need to make a clear connection between your country and your goals. Ask yourself, do you share how you will be academically successful on your program? Studying abroad can be very challenging. There are different ways of learning, different modes of teaching, different relationships between students and faculty. It's important that you share some of the skills you have learned to help you be successful at RIT and how you will apply those skills abroad. For example, building relationships with faculty abroad. How will you do that specifically? What resources will you utilize to ensure you're successful, like tutoring or mentoring? Ask yourself, are you giving examples of the experiences, skills, and knowledge that you already have that will help you to meet those challenges you might face? You'll want to talk about your leadership here at RIT and how the skills you've learned in your co-ops and jobs and leadership experiences have prepared you and equipped you with skills like problem solving and adaptability that will help you be successful abroad. And also, do you address how this international experience will impact your future? The second required essay in your Gilman application is a maximum of 3,000 characters, or about 3/4 of a page, and it's called Community Impact, Building Mutual Understanding. Part of the whole purpose of Gilman is to create mutual understanding between cultures. In this essay, you need to describe what it means to you to be a U.S. citizen abroad. You need to talk about how you will seek opportunities to be culturally engaged and how you will be seeking opportunities to have meaningful interactions. Gilman is looking to know that they are getting the best return on their investment by giving you a scholarship. They want to see what you're going to put into the experience, that you're going to make the most of it. So in this essay, you want to talk really specifically about things that you're going to do to make the most of this experience. For example, how are you going to make sure to meet locals? Are you going to get involved in any clubs or sports experiences while you're abroad? You could talk about the ways you're going to intentionally sample the cuisine and practice the language. To make sure you are communicating effectively in your second essay, you should ask yourself, are you articulating how you will represent the United States as a citizen diplomat? Do you explain how you will contribute to the goal of building mutual understanding between cultures? Do you discuss how you will look for opportunities to build meaningful relationships and become more culturally engaged? It's important that you demonstrate some critical thinking on these topics. All Gilman awardees are required to participate in a follow-on service project once they return from study abroad. The intention of this project is to extend the impact of Gilman Scholarship by asking you to do a project that promotes international education or study abroad and the Gilman Scholarship. In this essay, you're going to describe, through a plan of action, what your follow-on service project will be, whether it will be for your campus community or a larger regional community, and how you know this project will motivate and inspire others to learn about other cultures. Project ideas could be something like presenting at our annual symposium about your experience, working for our office as a global ambassador, or maybe talking about your experience to other students in your major. You design the project, and in this essay you should give specifics about how you know this will be effective and how you know this project is feasible. In order for this essay to be successful, you should ask yourself, how does your follow-on service project increase awareness of the Gilman Scholarship and study abroad opportunities? Is your project feasible? Do you have the skills and knowledge necessary to pull it off? Do you give a detailed plan for your project? And how do you incorporate your study abroad experience into your project? And have you identified an appropriate intended audience? If you are applying for the Critical Need Language Award, you will complete this fourth essay, which is about 2,000 characters. In this essay, you're going to talk about the critical language you will be studying. Why is it important for you to study this? How does it help you meet your long-term goals? What are your motivations for studying this language? And how will you fully take advantage of your study abroad experience? Now let's talk about the deadlines and timelines for the Gilman application. The Gilman offers 2 award cycles, which is fantastic because that means if you're planning early, you might have 2 chances to win a scholarship for your study abroad experience. I'm going to talk generally about those cycles here. If you want to know the actual dates, please visit the Gilman website. In general, the first application award cycle opens in mid-August. And this cycle is for students studying abroad in the most recent upcoming spring, summer, fall, or academic years. The deadline is usually the first week of October, and decisions are usually announced in mid-December. This means, though, however, you won't find out if you won until mid-December. So if you're going on a spring program that starts in January, you might not find out if you won the award until a few weeks before you're set to depart. The challenge is that you will have to make a decision about whether or not you're going on this program, regardless of whether or not you are receiving or have heard yet if you're receiving the Gilman Scholarship, because you're going to have committed, bought flights, and paid your deposit already. For the spring cycle, the applications open in mid-January, and this is for students studying abroad in the most recent upcoming summer, fall, academic year, and spring. The deadline is typically the first week of March, and you would find out if you won in mid-May. Again, if you find out in mid-May, but you're doing a summer program that starts at the end of May, you're only finding out if you won the Gilman a couple of weeks in advance of your departure. You're going to have committed to the program months before this. Here are some tips that I've learned over the years that RIT students have shared with me as well. One important tip is to start the application early. The earlier you start, the more time you have to work with me in my office to review your essays, to give you feedback, and make sure that you have a really competitive application. Another tip is throughout your essays, be sure to use very specific examples to describe why you chose this study abroad program, how you know your follow-on service project will be successful, etc. For example, if you're a criminal justice major, explain things like how the courses you will be taking abroad will enhance your knowledge and comparison of different criminal justice systems around the world. Maybe describe the faculty you will be taking courses from and their expertise. Maybe talk about the excursions that you will go on and how those are related and will help you learn more in depth about your specific subject. Another tip is that for your follow-on service project, be very specific about what your project will be and how you know it will be feasible and effective. For example, you might say, for my project, I will work for the Education Abroad Office as a global ambassador. I have already spoken with the leadership and they think my skills and experience will be an asset. I will participate in student panels and mentor other students, especially those who are low income. Those kinds of specifics show that you've really thought through and maybe even been proactive before you've gone abroad to make sure that's a feasible project. Another tip is to really specifically identify ways you're going to engage in the culture and make the most of your trip. For example, is there certain cuisine dishes that you will try, certain museums that you will visit, certain clubs and organizations that you plan to get involved in? There are several ways for you to learn more about the Gilman and be informed. The website is gilmanscholarship.org, and then they have profiles on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube where you can hear from past awardees, get more tips. I'm available to answer your questions about the eligibility and the timeline. I can help you find the right study abroad program or connect you with my team so they can help you identify the right program and why it's a good fit for you. I could provide more tips, review your essays, and of course, I will help celebrate your success with the RIT community. Thank you so much for participating today. If you have any questions, please contact me, and of course, let me know if you plan to apply. Good luck.